Do you feel like you don't speak enough Chinese? That you need to know more words? Then stick around. With these lessons, you'll pick up some of the most common words in just a few minutes. Now, this video is a small portion of our learning program. To get the full lessons, translations, and Fluency Fast study tools, click the link in the description and sign up for your free lifetime account. Learning to carry a conversation is vital to mastery of any language. Even beginners can quickly learn conversational language well enough to carry on real conversations with native speakers. Of course, beginners won't be able to carry a conversation the same way they could in their native language. But just knowing a few tips, like which questions to ask to keep a conversation going, are all you need to speak and interact with real native speakers. Before we get to specific suggestions, let's first take a closer look at how having real conversations in your target language is so vital to your mastery of the language. Communicating with other people is the very point of language, and conversation comes easily in our native tongue. For beginners, or anyone learning a new language, conversations aren't easy at all, and even simple greetings can be intimidating and awkward. Nothing kills a conversation faster than long periods of awkward silence, so you need practice and specific strategies to avoid them. When you know what to say to keep a conversation going, communication becomes much easier, and you make a better impression on your listener. Nothing will help you learn to speak a language faster and truly master the language than having real conversations with native speakers. Conversations quickly expose you to slang, cultural expressions, and vocabulary that force you to absorb and assimilate information faster than any educational setting. And that's a great thing. But how can you possibly have real conversations with real people if you're just starting out? Here are 3 proven methods that even beginners can quickly use to learn conversational language to make a great impression and avoid awkward silences. First, ask questions to keep a conversation going. For beginners and even more advanced speakers, the key is to ask questions to keep a conversation going. Of course, they can't be just random questions, or else you may confuse the listener. But by memorizing a few key questions and the appropriate time to use them, you can easily carry a conversation with minimal vocabulary or experience. And remember, the more conversations you have, the quicker you will learn and master the language. Second, learn core vocabulary terms as quickly as possible. You don't need to memorize thousands of words to learn conversational language. In fact, with just a couple hundred words, you could have a very basic conversation. And by learning maybe 1,000 to 2,000 words, you could carry a conversation with a native speaker about current events, order in restaurants, and even get directions. To help you get started with this, check out our 2,000 common words, also known as our core list. These 2,000 words are all you need to learn to speak fluently and carry a conversation with a native speaker. Third, study video or audio lessons that you can play and replay again and again. If you want to know how to carry on a conversation, then you need exposure to native speakers, and the more, the better. Studying video or audio lessons is ideal because they provide contextualized learning in your native language, and you can play them again and again until you achieve mastery. Our instructors have created more than 2,500 video and audio lessons that you can play over and over. And the best part is, they don't just teach you vocabulary and grammar. They are designed to help you learn to speak and teach you practical everyday topics like shopping, ordering, and more. Although it may seem intimidating for a beginner, the truth is that it's very easy to learn conversational language. Just learn a few core vocabulary terms and which questions to ask to keep a conversation going. Our language learning program has the world's largest online collection of video and audio lessons by real instructors, plus tons of advanced tools to help you learn to speak and carry on a conversation quickly. Just a little practice and exposure to real conversations or lessons is all it really takes. So, if you're ready to finally learn a new language the fast, fun, and easy way, sign up for your free lifetime account by clicking on the link in the description. Signing up takes less than 30 seconds, and you'll start speaking from your very first lesson. If you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share the video with anyone who's trying to learn a new language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. I'll see you next time. Bye!
Welcome to Introduction to Chinese. My name is Alicia, and I'm joined by...
Hi everyone, I'm Ray. In this series, you will learn everything you need to know to get started learning Chinese.
That's right, and we're here to help guide you on your journey. In this lesson, you'll learn the reasons why you should start learning Chinese and how to get started. Chinese is a super language with many dialects. Cantonese, for instance, is a dialect of Chinese. In mainland China, in order for people speaking different dialects to understand and communicate with each other, a standard and official language was created based on Beijing dialect. It's called Mandarin Chinese.
普通话. This literally means the common dialect.
Mandarin Chinese is so widely spoken that it's not only in China. Other countries like Malaysia, Singapore, and Indonesia use Mandarin as an everyday language as well. Statistics show that more than 14% of the world population are native Mandarin speakers, which makes Mandarin the most spoken native language in the world.
Being able to speak Mandarin Chinese means you will be able to communicate with 1/6 of the people on this planet.
Which you wouldn't be able to do otherwise. Who knows? One of them could be your future husband or wife. Besides the large Chinese-speaking population, China is also one of the oldest civilizations in the world, with over 5,000 years of rich history. Did you know that the Terracotta Army, which is a collection of terracotta sculptures, was built in 209 BCE?
They were buried upon the death of the first emperor of China, Qin Shi Huang, in order to protect him in his afterlife. Today, you can visit them in Xi'an province of China. Being able to speak Chinese will definitely help you understand the story behind this magnificent world heritage.
Chinese culture has had a huge influence on cultures throughout Asia. In terms of language, Chinese language shaped many other languages, similar to the way Latin shaped the languages of Europe. Chinese characters have been introduced to most of the Asian languages, such as Japanese, Korean, Vietnamese, and Thai. Even today, kanji, or Chinese characters, is still part of the Japanese writing system.
By learning Chinese, you will be able to understand and appreciate different aspects of ancient Chinese and Asian cultures, such as calligraphy, paintings, poetry, music, and architecture. This makes touring around Asia all the easier.
Last but not least, China is the second largest economy in the world. Since China opened its doors to the West in the late 70s, the Chinese government has been working on bringing foreign investment and economic cooperation to the country. This creates many employment opportunities for foreigners to work in China.
China is also one of the fastest growing nations as well. The future of China is promising. That's why many companies now do business with China, and why many movies set in the future show China as a superpower and global influencer.
Learning Chinese will allow you to have a leg up on the future. This can mean big things for your career and might help you land your dream job.
Even if you don't work and live in China, being able to speak Chinese will give you an edge when competing for employment opportunities in your own country.
Chinese is often called one of the most difficult languages in the world. It is certainly a challenge.
But it's not as difficult as you might think.
Chinese grammar is actually pretty easy. It has the same sentence order as English. Plus, there are no noun plural forms and verb tenses to memorize.
Even the full tones are not that difficult. Pay attention when native speakers are talking and mimic their pronunciation. You will definitely get the hang of it.
Plus, many Chinese people, especially the younger Chinese, speak some English. They're always so eager to help you. You'll find a lot of teachers once you let people know you're studying Chinese.
Most importantly, we're here to offer you any help you might need while learning Chinese. Let's get started by looking at a couple of common Chinese phrases.
To express your gratitude, you say,
谢谢,谢谢.
You can use this phrase in any occasion and under any circumstances. To make your gratitude more heartfelt, you can add,
你, which means you. 谢谢你.
It makes your thank you sound more personal and polite. So to say thanks or thank you, you can say,
谢谢 or 谢谢你.
Let's look at another well-known phrase.
我爱你.
Do you know what that means?
我 means I means love. 你 means you. So 我爱你 means I love you.
Exactly the same order as in English. If the Chinese characters or
汉字
look daunting, don't worry. There's a romanization system for all the Chinese characters in Mandarin called pinyin.
With the help of pinyin, you should be able to pronounce any Chinese words you see, no problem.
We'll get into that in a later episode of this series. Well done! Now you know how to say thank you.
谢谢 or 谢谢你.
in Chinese. We've covered a lot of things already, so why don't we wrap up the first lesson and recap on what we've learned? In this lesson, you learned that studying another language has many benefits, such as providing new job and business opportunities. China has a colorful history with many things for you to see and learn. And to say thank you in Chinese, it's
谢谢.
In this lesson, you'll learn the basics of Chinese pronunciation. We'll give you a brief introduction to the Chinese romanization system, demonstrate a few difficult sounds, and then talk about tones in Chinese pronunciation. Pinyin is a system that represents Mandarin Chinese by using the Roman alphabet. It's now the most common way to Romanize Mandarin Chinese. It's the foundation for Chinese pronunciation. Learning Pinyin will benefit you in many ways. It shows you the proper way to pronounce a word. It also allows you to pronounce a word you've never seen. And if you'd like to type in Chinese on your phone or computer, Pinyin input is the easiest and most popular way.
A complete syllable in Pinyin is usually made of initials, which are consonants, and finals, which are vowels, and lastly, a tone mark. Sometimes, though, a vowel by itself can make a syllable too.
There are 20 consonant letters in Mandarin or Pinyin, almost all the same consonant letters as in English except for the letter V.
B, P, M, F, D, T, N, L, G, K, H, and so on.
And there are combinations of consonants that are initial sounds as well. But don't worry, there are only 3 of these.
Zh, Sh, Sh.
And then we have vowels. There are 6 single vowels in Mandarin Chinese.
A, O, E, I, U, U.
By combining these single vowels with each other, or by combining them with N, NG, or R, we can make many compound vowels, such as
Ya, O, A, Y, An, Yun, Ang, Yan, Wan, Yang.
It may look like a lot to remember. The trick is to memorize the ones that sound different from English or your native language. This will be emphasized in the next part of the lesson, so stick around. Some sounds in Chinese don't sound like their Roman letters. We'll show you how they're pronounced in Chinese. First, let's look at some single vowel sounds.
Sounds like the U in the English but only longer. Remember not to curl your tongue when there is no R around. Ch, H. The only exception is when it comes after Y. Then it sounds more like E, as in red. Yeah. The E sound is like the double E in the English C. I, Xi. When it comes after A, C, Ch, R, S, Sh, or Zh sound, it's more like a short E sound, as in lip. 知识, 40. The U sound is like the French U. Your lips should be round and pouting. 绿, 女. U and U are different sounds, but when U comes after G, Qi, Xi, I, it makes the same sound as U. 橘子, 去, 玉米.
Now let's look at some compound vowel sounds. For all the compound sounds, you just need to make the first single vowel sound and then slide into the next single vowel. For example,
the yue sound. Try to make the yu sound, then slide to e, yue, xue. To make the one sound, combine u with an, suan, yuan quan. Yen sounds like the word yen, the Japanese currency, xian, qian.
Consonants are pretty easy in Chinese. Just pay attention to the next couple of sounds.
G is like the J in Jeep, but press your flat tongue tightly against the back of your upper teeth. 姐姐, 家人. Qi is like the CH in cheap, but again with a flatter tongue and a stronger puff of breath. 请, 气球. She is like the SH in sheep. Again, you lay your tongue flatter and extend the two sides of your mouth wider. 小, 新鲜.
Now you know all the sounds in pinyin, a total of over 400 sounds. What an accomplishment! Congratulations! Now let's move on to another important but also challenging part in Chinese pronunciation, tones. Every syllable in Chinese pronunciation is stressed with one of the 4 different tones. The first tone is steady with a high pitch.
A,
The second tone starts with a middle pitch, then rises quickly.
A,
The third tone goes down from a low pitch, then rises to the middle of the pitch range.
A,
The fourth tone falls sharply and quickly from a high pitch.
A.
Besides the 4 stressed tones, there's a neutral tone. This is very light, weak, and short. Pay attention to the second syllables of the next examples.
爸爸，椅子，好吗？
Let's recap what we've learned by breaking down a word in pinyin. The pronunciation for the famous city Shanghai is
上海，
the first syllable here is made of an initial
诗，
and a final
昂，
and a fourth falling tone.
上，
The second syllable is made of an initial
呵，
and a final
爱，
and a third falling then rising tone.
海，上海。
Well done! Let's wrap up this lesson by recapping what we've learned. In this lesson, we introduced you to pinyin, the romanization method to help you get started learning Chinese. We also covered some of the unique and difficult sounds of Chinese and introduced you to the 4 tones in Chinese. Word order refers to the order in which words are structured to form a sentence in a given language. The basic word order for English is subject, verb, object, or SVO for short. Let's break down the English sentence, I ate an apple. We can see that the subject I is presented first, followed by the verb ate, and then finally the object apple is positioned last. This is the basic word order for sentences in English.
Now let's compare that same sentence. I ate an apple in Chinese. 我吃了一个苹果. If we break down this sentence, we will have 我, I, which is a subject, 吃了, which means ate or have eaten, a verb. Next, the object, 一个苹果, an apple. So the order is subject plus verb plus object, or SVO for short.
This is exactly the same order as in English. Let's try another basic sentence. I like Chinese.
I is 我, like is 喜欢, Chinese is 中文. So we put the subject first, then the verb, and then the object. Altogether we have 我喜欢中文.
Now you know the word order in Chinese. Let's try to add more components to basic words to make longer sentences. Adding a time phrase in Chinese sentences is a little different than in English. In English, we put the when phrase in the last part of the sentence. For example, I eat an apple every day.
In Chinese, we put the time phrase after the subject. So we need to put every day after I. So we have 我, I, 每天, every day, 吃, eat, 一个苹果, an apple. Subject plus time phrase plus verb plus objects. 我每天吃一个苹果. 我的姐姐明天去美国. 我的 my 姐姐 older sister 明天 tomorrow 去 go to 美国 the United States.
My older sister is going to the US tomorrow.
我的姐姐明天去美国.
To add places, put them after the time phrases. For example, I eat an apple every day at home. In Chinese, that's
我每天在家吃一个苹果. 在家 means at home. So it's I every day at home eat an apple. 我每天在家吃一个苹果.
Let's try another one. I was born in the US in 1990. Remember, subject, time, place, and then verb.
我1990年在美国出生. 我1990年在美国出生.
To form negative sentences, there are 2 ways for 2 circumstances.
You can use 不 or 没有. We use 不 in present tense sentences, or when you don't want to do something. 我不喜欢中文. I don't like Chinese. 我不去. I'm not going. 我不吃. I don't want to eat. We use 没有 in past tense, meaning didn't or haven't done something. 我没有吃苹果. I didn't eat the apple. 我的姐姐昨天没有去美国. My older sister didn't go to the US yesterday.
To form yes or no questions in Chinese, it can't be easier.
Just add a question marker, 么, at the end of a statement. You like Chinese is 你喜欢中文. To make it do you like Chinese, we simply put 么 at the end. 你喜欢中文吗? Let's make 你每天在家吃一个苹果 a yes or no question. 你每天在家吃一个苹果吗?
Now you know how to ask questions with a yes or no answer. But how do you ask questions using question words, such as what, when, where, how, why, and which?
Let's put the above questions words into two groups. We put what, which, and where after the verb. It's like replacing the object with a question word.
For example, what do you like?
你喜欢什么? 你 you 喜欢 like 什么 what.
Which one do you like?
你喜欢哪个? 你 you 喜欢 like 哪个 which one.
Where do you like?
你喜欢哪里? 你 you 喜欢 like 哪里 where.
And for the rest of the question words, we put them before the verb, so it's subject, question word, verb, object. In some cases, you can omit the object to make the sentence concise. When are you going?
你什么时候去? 你 you 什么时候 when 去 go.
Why are you going to the US?
你为什么去美国? 你 you 为什么 why 去 go to 美国 the United States.
How are you going to go?
你怎么去? 你 you 怎么 how 去 go.
If we have a sentence with both a time phrase and a question word, which should go first? Just remember, question words are always stuck with verbs. So in this case, it would be subject, time phrase, question word, then verb.
你明天怎么去? 你 you 明天 tomorrow 怎么 how 去 go. How are you going to go tomorrow?
Basically, questions have the same order as SVO statements. Just remember to stick the right question words in the right places. And don't forget the question mark. Well done! Let's wrap up this lesson by recapping what we've learned. In this lesson, you learned that Chinese uses the exact same SVO word order as English. From this, you learned how to form affirmative and negative sentences. And finally, you learned how to convert an affirmative sentence into a question. Unlike English, which is an alphabetic language, Chinese is written with characters. These represent both sound and meaning.
Each 汉字 has one syllable. One or more syllables make up a word. So in Chinese, a word can be made up of one or more 汉字. For example, the word 汉字 is made of two syllables. The first one, Han, means Chinese, or the Han people, which is a majority ethnic group in China. The second syllable, 字, means word. So Han and 字 together means Chinese characters.
Although there are more than 50,000 characters in Chinese, you only need to know 2,000 to 3,000 to be considered literate.
Still, memorizing 3,000 Chinese characters sounds like a huge challenge, but it's actually easier than you may think. All Chinese characters are made up of smaller components that are used over and over again in other characters. This means that by learning just one component, you can effectively learn multiple characters at the same time. Let's look at this aspect in more detail.
Most Chinese characters are pictophonetic. They consist of a radical and a phonetic element. These are the technical terms for the components we just talked about. The radical often suggests the meaning of a character. The phonetic part indicates the original pronunciation, which may or may not be the modern pronunciation.
For example, let's look at the character fan, rice or meal. Its radical is, which indicates that this word is related to food or eating. The second part, fan, is a phonetic element. It suggests that its pronunciation is close to the pronunciation of the character fan, meaning opposite.
To be able to recognize and write Chinese characters, you should know the basic radicals. Now we'll give you a few of the most commonly used radicals.
人 or its variation means man or person. It's present in words like 你, you, 他, he, 众, the masses. 女 meaning woman. It's in words like 妈, mom, 姐, older sister, 姑娘, girl. 心 or its variation means heart, 想, to think, 意, to recall. 手 or its variation means hand. It usually appears when the word describes an action using hands, such as 打, to hit, 拉, to pull, 推, to push, 拿, to grab. 口 means mouth. Characters with this radical often involve using your mouth, such as 吃, to eat, 唱, to sing, 吞, to swallow. 目 means eye, 看, to look or see, 睡, to sleep. 言 or its variation means speech, 说, to speak or say, 请, please or to invite, 谢, to thank. 水 or its variation means water, 海, ocean, 河, river, 洗, to wash. 火 or its variation means fire. For example, 烧, to burn, 灯, light, 热, hot. 衣 or its variation means clothing, 衬衫, shirt, 袋子, bag.
Most radicals are at the left or bottom of a character. By identifying radicals, it should be much easier to decode the meaning of new characters. For the phonetic elements, it takes time and effort to memorize their pronunciations. The more you study them, the easier it will be. When writing in Chinese, it's important to know the order of strokes. Knowing the number of strokes is also important when you look up a word in a radical-based dictionary. Some characters can have many strokes, and they can get very complex. If they're not written in the correct order, some characters may even be unreadable. So learning the proper stroke order is quite important. Remember, write from left to right.
川 river. 人 person.
From top to bottom.
三 three.
Horizontal, then vertical.
十 ten. 土 soil.
Outside, then inside.
月 moon. 用 to use.
Inside, then close.
回 to return. 田 farmland.
The middle, then the sides.
小 small. 水 water.
Okay, let's wrap up this lesson by recapping what we've learned.
In this lesson, we introduced you to the basics of Chinese characters. You also learned that Chinese characters are comprised of radicals. Finally, you learned some of the most common stroke patterns when writing Hanzi.
The best phrase to learn when studying a new language is one that expresses gratitude and appreciation. If you had to learn only a single phrase, this would be it.
We taught you this phrase in the first lesson of this series. Do you remember what it was? 谢谢. It means thank you. 谢谢.
Keep repeating after Ray until you get it.
谢谢.
Your turn.
谢谢. 谢谢.
In Lesson 2, we mentioned the pronunciation of the consonant.
She, it sounds like the SH in English, only with flatter lips.
Then we have the compound vowels.
Yeah.
The tone in the first syllable is the fourth falling tone,
谢.
and the second syllable is the neutral tone.
谢.
Altogether,
谢谢. You can see the radical in this character 谢 is.
this indicates that the meaning of this character has something to do with speech. The next phrase we'll teach you is perhaps the second most useful phrase of all. It's to apologize or to excuse yourself.
对不起, which means I'm sorry.
This is a formal way to apologize for when you did something wrong. Repeat after Ray.
对不起. 对不起.
But if you want to interrupt someone and ask a question, we don't often use this phrase. Instead, we use
请问.
before a question.
It literally means, may I please ask? 请问.
If you want to get the waiter or waitress's attention, in English, you might say, excuse me. But in Chinese, you just need to raise your hand and your voice and say,
服务员.
which means waiter or waitress.
服务员.
Don't worry, it won't sound rude. Everyone in China does it. It's the most common way to get a waiter's attention in China. Now you can say, thank you very much, excuse me, and I'm sorry in Chinese. Let's move on. Asking where something is an incredibly important and useful phrase to learn. You're going to need this when asking where the bathroom, the train station, or where the hotel is.
在哪里? 在 means at. 哪里 means where. So the pattern is something or location plus 在哪里.
For example, if you want to ask, where is the bathroom?
洗手间在哪里?
Or for the subway station, you say,
地铁站在哪里?
to sound more polite, you can add, may I please ask, before the sentence. We mentioned this phrase earlier in this lesson.
请问洗手间在哪里? 请问地铁站在哪里?
So altogether, the polite way to ask where something is,
请问在哪里?
if you know the person you're talking to well, you can simply say,
在哪里?
your turn.
在哪里? 请问在哪里?
Okay, now let's teach you some vocabulary to use in the sentence. Here are some of the most common words you'll need to learn.
洗手间
Bathroom,
洗手间洗手间在哪里?
next we have
地铁站
subway station,
地铁站地铁站在哪里?
next
超市
supermarket or convenience store,
超市超市在哪里?
next
我的座位
my seat,
我的座位我的座位在哪里?
You can ask where anything is simply by saying the place or location and
在哪里?
to ask where something is in Chinese. In this final lesson, you learned how to say thank you, excuse me, I'm sorry, and to ask where something is in Chinese. And in this series, we introduce you to the basics of Chinese pronunciation, grammar, writing, and more. Let's conclude with some parting advice from Ray and listen to some of her tips on how to learn Chinese from a native Chinese perspective.
The best way to learn Chinese, particularly if you want to improve your communication skills, is to watch and study contemporary Chinese videos. That's because we often use expressions in daily conversation that aren't necessarily introduced in grammar textbooks. Even though Mandarin is a common language in China, men and women, elderly people and children have their own ways of speaking. This means they have their own vocabulary and tones. For example, women use "ne" at the end of their statements a lot with the purpose of softening their tones. But if men use that, they will sound very feminine. Make sure you mimic the right person. Watching contemporary videos, such as our videos here at Chinese Class 101, will ensure that you are learning real, applicable Chinese in the fastest and most effective way.
You've reached the end of this course, Introduction to Chinese, but it's only the beginning of your journey to Chinese fluency. Where do you go from here? Try our Ultimate Guide to Chinese Pronunciation series, where we teach you all the sounds of the Chinese language. Or check out any of our other video series. We have many different categories for you to choose from. Good luck as you continue learning Chinese, and we'll see you in another video. Bye!
Bye!
Hello everyone! Today we are going to learn 10 hardest words to pronounce in Chinese. Okay, let's begin. 去 to go. 去 to go. 去 also has the meaning is last. For example, last year, 去年去登山 to go hiking. Watch me. 去You just like you want to kiss somebody. 去 and your tongue touch your teeth. 去 Yeah, you did good. 喝水 drink water. 喝水 drink water. The hard part is 水 But in the Carol life, we just speak like 水 It's totally okay. No one speak 水 喝水 is okay. 40 You just imagine the word slim. This one didn't have the vibration here, but for the 4 you have the vibration. You can touch here and make sure that this here is a vibration is correct. And for 10 you just imagine the word shift. You add some vibration here. 10 Yeah, it's right. And next, I want to share you a tongue twister. Are you ready? 4是4 10是10 14是14 40是40姜 ginger 姜 ginger. Okay, guys, I want to share a Chinese slang to you. 姜还是老的啦. The meaning from the words means the older ginger is more spicy than the younger ginger. But the real meaning is like the senior person or the older person can handle the more complicated situation than the younger person. 日 day 日 day holiday 节日 What's your favorite holiday? 你最喜欢的节日是什么？我最喜欢的节日是国庆日。My favorite holiday is a national day because we have 1 week holiday. Ha 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 ha. 汉语 Chinese language. 汉语 Chinese language. You can just say 语汉语 is okay for the Carol way. I'm studying Chinese language. 我正在学汉语。猫开周微 just like 我正在学汉语。Yes, you see that? 语汉语 is okay. 知道 No. 知道 No. I know the hard part is 知 You just imagine the word manage. Ch didn't vibration. You just add vibration. 知 is okay. And for a sentence, okay, come here, come here. Do you know her name? 你知道她的名字吗？脚 foot 脚 foot. And also it can use for feet. My foot got injured. 哦，我的脚受伤了。I can't walk. 我不能走路了。脚 G-E-O 脚 But you can say 脚。轮 well 轮 well. And also it's a word 轮胎 means tire. You can speak 我的轮胎坏了，车子不走了。辞职 resign 辞职 resign. I know the hard part is 辞 You just imagine barbecue 辞 Okay 我不想干了，我要辞职。That means I don't want to work here anymore. I want to resign. Resign letter means 辞职信辞职信 And you also the very official way to say is 辞呈 Okay guys, today we did the 10 hardest words to pronounce. Which one is hardest for you? Please comment. Thanks for watching. Bye bye. Oh, please subscribe. 北京欢迎你。北京 welcome you. Please come here.
一个男人正在会议上报告公司的销售业绩。他在报告时使用了哪两个图表？
请看你们手中的资料，左边的表显示了我们公司过去3年的销售额以及本年度的销售预期，右边的表则列举出了到今年10月为止每月的各项分类数据。现在，请看左边的表，可以看出在过去3年里，我们的销售额持续平稳增长。如果能保持增长的势头，那么今年的销售额将会超过去年。接下来，请看右边这张表。从这张表可以看出，我们在4月和8月的促销活动是富有成效的。
但是在促销活动之后的5月和9月，销售额有所下降。
是的，但这种反弹效应是在所难免的。我预计，如果我们能保持增长的话，今年的年度销售额将会高于去年。
他在报告时使用了哪两个图表？一个男人正在会议上报告公司的销售业绩。他在报告时使用了哪两个图表？
请看你们手中的资料，左边的表显示了我们公司过去3年的销售额以及本年度的销售预期，右边的表则列举出了到今年10月为止每月的各项分类数据。现在，请看左边的表，可以看出在过去3年里，我们的销售额持续平稳增长。如果能保持增长的势头，那么今年的销售额将会超过去年。接下来，请看右边这张表。从这张表可以看出，我们在4月和8月的促销活动是富有成效的。
但是在促销活动之后的5月和9月，销售额有所下降。
是的，但这种反弹效应是在所难免的。我预计，如果我们能保持增长的话，今年的年度销售额将会高于去年。
一个男人准备加入健身俱乐部，他正在了解相关条款。他会选择成为哪一类会员？首先，我来为您说明这本手册上列出的本俱乐部的各种会员类型。普通会员可以在1周中的任意一天的任何时间使用健身房和游泳池。我们还设有晨间会员，此类会员只能在早晨使用我们的设施。此外，我们也向只需要在晚上来健身的人提供晚间会员服务。
对晨间会员开放的是什么时段？
晨间会员可以在早上6点到10点之间使用设施，晚间会员则是在晚上6点到11点。
原来如此，这样晨间会员就可以在上班路上顺便来健身。
没错， 晨间会员制很受朝九晚五的上班族们的欢迎。如果你只想使用健身房或游泳池的话，我们也单独开放相应的会员资格。
我想两个都用。我想在平时早上上班前上健身房，周末游泳。你们有那种平时只限晨间时段，周末则可以全天使用的会员类型吗？
很抱歉，先生，我们没有此类会员服务。
好吧，我周末没法早起，还是选这种会员吧。
他会选择成为哪一类会员？一个男人准备加入健身俱乐部，他正在了解相关条款。他会选择成为哪一类会员？首先，我来为您说明这本手册上列出的本俱乐部的各种会员类型。普通会员可以在一周中的任意一天的任何时间使用健身房和游泳池。我们还设有晨间会员，此类会员只能在早晨使用我们的设施。此外，我们也向只需要在晚上来健身的人提供晚间会员服务。
对晨间会员开放的是什么时段？
晨间会员可以在早上6点到10点之间使用设施，晚间会员则是在晚上6点到11点。
原来如此，这样晨间会员就可以在上班路上顺便来健身。
没错，晨间会员制很受朝九晚五的上班族们的欢迎。如果你只想使用健身房或游泳池的话，我们也单独开放相应的会员资格。
我想两个都用。我想在平时早上上班前上健身房，周末游泳。你们有那种平时只限晨间时段，周末则可以全天使用的会员类型吗？
很抱歉，先生，我们没有此类会员服务。
好吧，我周末没法早起，还是选这种会员吧。
一个女人正在跟一个在印刷公司工作的男人讨论新产品宣传册的相关事宜。宣传册设计初稿的截止日期是什么时候？我们决定在10月15号发售新产品，并希望和贵公司签订制作宣传册的合同。
感谢贵公司的青睐，我们很高兴能参与此次项目。可以告诉我们日程安排吗？什么时候需要一切就绪？
考虑到印刷所需要的时间，我们希望在9月底之前投入印刷。能在8月中旬把设计初稿给我们吗？
是这样的，我们会准备3份设计方案，然后请你们选出最符合产品理念的。我们将在你们选出的方案的基础上定稿，所以如果能有2周以上的时间给我们准备的话，就再好不过了。
行，1个月的时间应该足够挑选设计方案以及定稿，就看你们的了。
您真是找对人了，我们的设计团队是最棒的，非常感谢您。
宣传册设计初稿的截止日期是什么时候？一个女人正在跟一个在印刷公司工作的男人讨论新产品宣传册的相关事宜。宣传册设计初稿的截止日期是什么时候？我们决定在10月15号发售新产品，并希望和贵公司签订制作宣传册的合同。
感谢贵公司的青睐，我们很高兴能参与此次项目。可以告诉我们日程安排吗？什么时候需要一切就绪？
考虑到印刷所需要的时间，我们希望在9月底之前投入印刷。能在8月中旬把设计初稿给我们吗？
是这样的，我们会准备3份设计方案，然后请你们选出最符合产品理念的。我们将在你们选出的方案的基础上定稿，所以如果能有2周以上的时间给我们准备的话，就再好不过了。
行，1个月的时间应该足够挑选设计方案以及定稿，就看你们的了。
您真是找对人了，我们的设计团队是最棒的，非常感谢您。
Hi everyone! Do you know how to introduce yourself in Chinese? Today we are going to learn 10 lines for introducing yourself. 我的名字是雨婷 My name is 雨婷 我的名字是 My name is. The more casual way to say your name is 我叫雨婷I'm called 雨婷。你好，很高兴认识你。Hello, nice to meet you. 你好，很高兴认识你。您好。You just can use 您好 to the respectable person, for example, your teacher, your leader, but you can't use in the same generation friends. If you want to use for friends, you can use 你好. You can say like that. 你好，很高兴见到你 or 你好，很高兴认识你。我来自中国 I'm from China. 我来自中国 I'm from China. And if you want to introduce more about yourself, because China is so big, I want to say that I came from the north part of China. 我来自中国的北方。我住在北京 I live in Beijing. 我住在北京 I live in Beijing. When you introduce yourself, you can use 我住在For myself, I live in 呼伦贝尔。我住在呼伦贝尔。呼伦贝尔 is my hometown. Please visit my hometown, 呼伦贝尔。You are super welcomed. 我是一名学生 I'm a student. 我是一名学生 You can tell your occupation, your career. For example, you are a teacher. You can say 我是一名老师。And if you are an engineer, you can speak 我是一名工程师。医生 doctor, lawyer 律师。And if you work for government, you can speak 我是公务员。我24岁 I'm 24 years old. Okay, next one, tell your age. Ha ha ha. Maybe sometimes you don't want to tell your age, but it's okay. 我今年24岁 I'm 24 years old. 我的爱好是摄影 My hobby is photography. 我的爱好是摄影 My hobby is photography. And also I love travel. 而且我也喜欢旅行。你喜欢旅行吗 Do you like to travel? 我喜欢听音乐 I enjoy listening to music. 我喜欢听音乐 I enjoy listening to music. And also, I also enjoy cooking. 我喜欢做饭 And watching movie. 看电影。我学习中文已经24年了 I have been learning Chinese for 24 years. 我学习中文已经24年了 I have been learning Chinese for 24 years. How long have you been studying Chinese? 你学中文多长时间了？我的梦想是成为一名中文老师 My dream is to be a Chinese teacher. 我的梦想是当一名中文老师 My dream is to be a Chinese teacher. So here I am. I hope you can enjoy my lesson. 我希望你们喜欢我的中文课。Okay, guys, that's all for today's lesson. Today we learned 10 lines you need for introducing yourself. And if you have some questions, please comment below. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye bye. I have been learning Chinese for 24 years.
Hi everybody, Inru here. Welcome to Ask a Teacher, where I'll answer most of your common Chinese questions. The question for this lesson is, what are some useful tips for someone visiting China for the first time? Visiting China is exciting and very beneficial for your Chinese learning as well. But before you go, there are some tips I would love to share with you. Tip number 1. Take very good care of your valuables, especially at train stations, bus stops, airports, busy streets, and tourist attractions. Things get stolen within seconds. That's why a lot of women carry their backpacks in front of them. Tip number 2. Always bring toilet paper to public restrooms. Most Chinese public restrooms don't have toilet paper or paper towels. Some may not have hand soap either, so it's good to be prepared. Tip number 3. Expect people to be rude. People may stare if you have a non-Asian face, especially at places that don't usually have foreign visitors. People may cut in line, people may spit and sneeze right in front of you, people may talk loudly in public, and smokers may smoke in non-smoking areas. Just remember, these behaviors are something that Chinese are not proud of, but are still pretty common in China. Tip number 4. Internet is censored in China. That means no Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or Google unless you use a VPN. Tip number 5. Be aware of the cleanliness of some local restaurants and street food. The food may look very good, but it's very likely you'll get sick from it. Bring some medications with you just to be safe. Tip number 6. Make an attempt to speak Mandarin to Chinese people. They will love it and make your stay more enjoyable. How was it? Pretty interesting, right? China is definitely a wonderful place to visit. I didn't give you these tips to scare you away. They're just something you might want to know to make your trip more pleasant. If you have visited China before, please share your tips and experience with us. We'd love to hear your stories. I'll see you next time. 我们下次再见. Bye.
Hi everyone! Today we are going to learn 10 phrases to amaze native speakers. So let's begin. 条条大路通罗马. All roads lead to Rome. For these phrases, you can use when your friends failed in exam, and you can say that, it's okay. 条条大路通罗马. All roads lead to Rome. 有志者事竟成. Where there is a will, there is a way. Even though Chinese is a little bit hard to learn, there is a will, there is a way. 即使中文有一点难学，但是有志者事竟成. You can do it. 千错万错都是我的错. It's all my fault. You can use this phrase to your girlfriend or your boyfriend. It's really helpful, trust me. If you annoy your boyfriend or girlfriend, you just say, 千错万错都是我的错. I guarantee that your girlfriend or your boyfriend will laugh and don't angry anymore. 我只花了1年时间就说得流畅了. It took me only 1 year to become fluent. Actually, I think it's a little bit hard. If you are really spent 1 year to become fluent, you are genius. 你说的我全都能明白. I completely understood everything you said. Maybe you speak this sentence to the Chinese native speaker, they will shock. 你学中文多长时间啦? How long have you been learning Chinese? 我已经学习中文10年了. I have been learning Chinese for 10 years. Wow, it's really a long time. 10 years, 10年. How did you learn Chinese? 你怎样学中文? I learned Chinese all by myself. 我自学中文. Oh, that's quite difficult to learn a new language all by yourself. 谢谢，其实这不是我的母语. Thank you, but I'm not a native speaker actually. If you can speak the Chinese like the native speaker, I guarantee you are the superstar of China. 马马虎虎, that means careless and also have the meaning of just so-so. For example, your friends maybe ask you, hey, how's going, guys? 你最近怎么样? You can respond like 马马虎虎. That means just so-so, nothing special. And also, it can be adjective like you are careless. 你做事总是马马虎虎的. You are careless doing something all the time. 不好意思. There's a very, very careful sentence in Chinese. It means it has several meanings. First, excuse me if you want to draw someone's attention. Second, I'm sorry. 不好意思，我迟到了. I'm sorry, I'm late. And the third, embarrassed. Like someone say a lot of good words about you. You are so beautiful. You are so impressive. You can speak. 我不好意思了. Okay, guys. Today we learned 10 phrases to amaze Chinese native speaker. So please remember these phrases and you can amaze Chinese native speaker when you abroad China. Don't forget to subscribe and give me some up. please comment, give me some suggestions. Okay, see you next time. Goodbye.
嘿，大家好，我叫马燕如，很高兴与大家见面。Hi everybody, I'm Yan Ma. Nice to meet you. In this lesson, you're going to learn how to introduce yourself in Chinese. Ready? Let's get started. 你好，我叫马燕如。Hi, I'm Yan Ma. 你好，我叫马燕如。Start by saying 你好, which means hello. 你好。Then say 我叫, which means I'm called. 我叫。After this, say your name. 你好，我叫马燕如。Yes, it's just that easy. When you introduce yourself, you might want to tell people a little more than your name. Again, it's easy. You're learning Chinese, so let's say you want to tell people you're a Chinese student. In Chinese, this is 中文学生. The first word, 中文, is the word for the Chinese language. 中文. Next, we have 学生. This means student. 学生. Altogether, it's 中文学生。中文学生. Now, if you want to say I'm a student, just start with the word for I we learned before. 我. Then add 是. This means is. 是. After this, add the word for student. Do you remember it? 中文学生。中文学生。Put them together and you have 我是中文学生。我是中文学生。Remember, start by saying hello, then say your name. 你好，我叫马燕如。Follow with a little bit about you. 我是中文学生。And now you have a nice self-introduction. 你好，我叫马燕如。我是中文学生。Now it's time for Yanru's tips. When men introduce themselves, it's very common for them to shake hands. In business situations, women will do this too. In social or casual situations, however, it is common for women to simply nod or smile in order to show friendliness.
Hi, I'm Ray. Welcome to Chinese Top Words. Today we're going to cover how to respond to how are you in Chinese. Okay, let's get started. The first one is 你怎么样? How are you doing? 你怎么样? How are you doing? 你怎么样? This is a very casual way of saying hello or keeping updated. So what's new about you? Like that. Or just how are you? Are you good? Like that. So 你怎么样? The next one is 你最近还好吗? How have you been recently? 你最近还好吗? How have you been recently? This is a casual way of saying hello, but a little special thing about this way of saying hello is maybe you already know there's something going on with your friend. For example, your friend just got a disease and have been staying in hospital for a long time, or have been going through a breakup, or just got a new job, but very busy, but have a very bad boss. So you can say, oh, 你最近还好吗? How have you been recently? The next one is 我很好. I'm fine. 我很好. I'm fine. So when somebody is asking you, how have you been recently? You can respond, 我很好. I'm fine. Actually, in Chinese, 很好 is a little better than fine based on my understanding because 很好, 很 is very, 好 means good. So it actually means I'm very good. 我挺好的. I'm pretty good. 我挺好的. I'm pretty good. For example, your friend has been in America study for master degrees. Maybe you are a little worried about how he's doing in America. You can ask, oh, how have you been recently? How are you in America? That you actually very enjoy America's life. You say, I'm doing pretty good. 我挺好的. It means you are satisfied with your life situation. The next one is 我也挺好的. I'm doing good too. 我也挺好的 I'm doing good too. So when your friend is say I'm doing pretty good, 我挺好的 and you too, you're satisfied with your life, with your work, you can say I'm doing good too. Or if you do not want to share with your friend more information about your life, even you're not doing good, you can also say like 我也挺好的 Yeah, I'm satisfied. That's okay. Yeah, if you do not, it's like a pragmatical function. Use it for close conversation. 我也挺好的 Next one is 我最近有点忙 I've been pretty busy lately. 我最近有点忙 I've been pretty busy lately. So 有点 actually in English, literally it means a little. But why do we say, actually we are very busy, but why do we say I'm just a little busy? 我最近有点忙 It's just, I think, not putting so much pressure on the person who heard it. If you say, oh, I'm very busy, maybe the person or your friend will feel worried about your life. Oh, why are you so busy? Are you okay? How are you? So just not to putting so much pressure on your friend, you will say, I'm just a little busy. Actually, I'm very busy. 我最近不太顺利 Things are not going very well with me. 我最近不太顺利 Things are not going very well with me. So if you know your friend just got a new job in a very good but busy company, how have you been recently? 你最近还好吗? Your friend can say, maybe saying like 我最近不太顺利 It means, in this company, things are not going very well with me. Maybe he doesn't get along with his colleagues or the project has some difficulty in progressing. So the next one is 一言难尽 It's a long story. 一言难尽 It's a long story. Okay, for example, if you have been through a lot of difficulties recently, your company fired you and your mom has been pushing you to get married, just like me. So you have been exhausted recently and your friend is asking you, hey, how have you been recently? And there's so many things you cannot cover in one word or in one sentence. There are more than one stories that makes you exhausted. You can say, 一言难尽. Or sometimes you just don't want to share so many details personally. So you can say, 一言难尽. So people will not ask you further. The next one is 谢谢你的关心. Thank you for asking. 谢谢你的关心. Thank you for asking. For example, if I have been fighting with my boyfriend and one of my friends has known that and she's trying to pry on the details, she's just being gossip. She's asking, how have you been recently? How are you with your boyfriend? Are you okay? Like with that ironic smirk on her face, I would just say, 谢谢你的关心. Thank you for asking. That means I don't want to share any details about it. Your concern is appreciated, but that's all. I don't want to talk anything about it with you. So it's a little different with thank you for asking. It's not really appreciate somebody asking. It's just that I don't want to share with you about details, but your concern is appreciated, and that's all. So it's a way of close the conversation. The next one is 不好不坏. Not too good, but not too bad. 不好不坏. Not too good, but not too bad. So if somebody asking, how have you been recently? If you got a new job, but you lost the money in the stock market, so something good happened, something bad happened. So when you take everything into account, 不好不坏. So it's like, so it means not too good, not too bad. Something good happened, something bad also happened. Thank you for watching Chinese Top Words today. Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our channel. Please leave us comment on how do you think about Chinese ways to respond to how have you been doing. Don't forget to check out ChineseClass101.com. I'll be there. Bye!
Want to speak real Chinese from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at ChineseClass101.com.
In this lesson, we are going to learn how to use good manners as we thank people. 准备好了吗? Are you ready? 我们开始吧. So let's start. There are several ways to thank someone. Let's start with the easiest. It is just one word. 谢谢. 谢谢. 谢谢 means thanks. Another slightly more emphatic way of saying thank you is 谢谢你. Do you see what we changed? We just added 你 to the end. 你. As you may recall, this is a word for you. It's like saying thank you. 谢谢你. 谢谢你. When you really want to express thanks to someone, there is a different way to do it. 太谢谢了. 太谢谢了. As we've seen before, 谢谢 means thanks. Here, we've got a new word 太, which means too, as in too much of something. 太. And another 了. Together, this sentence is like thanks too much. 太谢谢了. How about the response? It's easy. Let me show you the most basic way to do it. 不用谢. 不用谢. 用 here means need. 用. Putting the 不 before it makes it negative. 不. Altogether, it's 不用, no need. 不用. Finally, we add 谢, which means thanks. So it means something like no need to thank. We use it just like the English you're welcome. So when someone says 谢谢 to you, you can simply reply with 不用谢. Now it's time for English tips. Although 谢谢 is simple, it can be used in both formal and informal situations with just about anyone, anywhere, and at any time. But actually in China, we don't usually say 谢谢 to our families and our close friends. The expression, while applied, creates a feeling of distance. But it doesn't mean that we take thankfulness for granted. Instead, we will do something else in the future to show our gratitude.
Welcome to Chinese Top Words. My name is Ray. Today we are going to cover 20 travel phrases you should know. Let's get started. 我可以要一张地图吗? Could I get a map? 我可以要一张地图吗? Could I get a map? Map. If you use your hand gesture enough, I think Chinese will know what you want. Yeah. 你会讲英语吗? Do you speak English? 你会讲英语吗? Do you speak English? So when you see 么 at the end of a sentence, Chinese sentence, you will know this is a sentence for asking a question. 什么什么么? What 么? 有没有从机场进入市区的巴士? Is there a bus from the airport to the city? 有没有从机场进入市区的巴士? Is there a bus from the airport to the city? So in China, since we have a big population, especially in the airport or in a train station, sometimes we need to line up for the taxi. So it may be a very useful sentence when you get to China for the first time. Wi-Fi 是免费的吗? Is the Wi-Fi free? Wi-Fi 是免费的吗? Is the Wi-Fi free? Another common question is, what is the Wi-Fi password? Wi-Fi 的密码是什么? 今晚有房间吗? Do you have any vacancies tonight? 今晚有房间吗? Do you have any vacancies tonight? So different from English, we put the time in front of a sentence instead of at the end of the sentence. So 今晚 means tonight. 我可以换一个其他的房间吗? Could I move to a different room? 我可以换一个其他的房间吗? Could I move to a different room? So when you're not satisfied with the room, maybe it's filled with smoke, smell, you can use this sentence. 我可以换一个其他的房间吗? 无烟房. 无烟房 means non-smoking room. 我有预定. I have a reservation. 我有预定. I have a reservation. You can use it in a restaurant or in a hotel. 可以给我们看一下菜单吗? Could we have the menu, please? 可以给我们看一下菜单吗? Could we have the menu, please? 菜 means dishes. 单 means list. So a list of dishes, it means menu in English. 你有什么推荐吗? Do you have any recommendations? 你有什么推荐吗？ Do you have any recommendations? So speaking of Chinese dishes, my favorite one is tomato fried eggs. 西红柿炒鸡蛋. I strongly recommend it. Please try it. 可以给我结账吗？ Could I have the check? 可以给我结账吗？ Could I have the check? So in China, when you go to a restaurant, go having dinner with especially your close friends or your family, one Chinese specific situation might happen. Like everybody will fight for check. Could I have the check? 我可以结账吗？ It's not so often heard, but instead it's like, I want the check. 我要结账. Yeah. In China, people like paying for their close friends and family. 我对花生过敏. I'm allergic to peanuts. 我对花生过敏. I'm allergic to peanuts. Among my friends and my family, I've never heard anybody is allergic to anything. I guess we were born strong. 请给我一杯水. Water, please. 请给我一杯水. Water, please. I would recommend you to say 请给我一杯冰水. Because in China, many people like hot water. Me too. I like hot water. So if you do not add 冰 means ice. So 冰水 means ice water. So if you don't add that, you probably get a hot water. 这个多少钱? How much is this? 这个多少钱? How much is this? So if you go shopping in China, if it's not department store, usually the price is not written on the product. So the merchant may offer different prices depending on the people. You have to always ask and always negotiate. Otherwise, you will get overcharged. But also enjoy the fun of negotiating the price. 我要10个这个. I'd like 10 of these. 我要10个这个. I'd like 10 of these. If you feel this sentence too long for you, you can say 这个我要10个. Or you can say 10个. This is a Chinese way of showing 10. 你能给我打个折吗? Could you give me a discount? 你能给我打个折吗? Could you give me a discount? So like what I have said before, in China, negotiating price is very common except the department store. So this could be very useful. 能刷信用卡吗? Do you take credit card? 能刷信用卡吗? Do you take credit card? In China, personally, I don't use credit cards so often. I just use my cash or like an account in my phone. So I just show my phone. It's like Apple Pay. It's very easy and convenient. 火车站在哪里? Where is the train station? 火车站在哪里? Where's the train station? So we put where at the end of the sentence in Chinese. So be careful, reverse the order. 请问车费是多少? Excuse me, what's the fare? 请问车费是多少? Excuse me, what's the fare? Usually you use this sentence when you take a taxi. So when you get to the destination, you can ask the taxi driver. 请问车费是多少? 能不能帮我拍张照? Could you take a picture of me, please? 能不能帮我拍张照? Could you take a picture of me, please? Instead of asking this favor in a question, you can also say, 请帮我拍张照. Please take a picture for me. 这是去机场的巴士吗? Is this the right bus for the airport? 这是去机场的巴士吗? Is this the right bus for the airport? Thank you for watching Chinese Top Words today. I'm happy to share with you the useful words when you travel in China. Don't forget to like our video and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to check out our ChineseClass101.com. I'll be there waiting for you. Bye!
In this lesson, we will learn some of the most common greetings used in China. 准备好了吗? Are you ready? 我们开始吧. So, let's start. The most commonly used greeting is 你好,你好. You may remember this from lesson 1. 你好 means hi, hello, and how do you do? It's a slightly formal expression though, so just use it at work or similar occasions. Don't use it with your family and friends. The informal hello is sure to be familiar to you. You probably use it every day already. Hey, hey. If it sounds familiar, it's because it's just like English hey, but make sure to say it with the right Mandarin tone. Hey. When you want to greet someone in the morning, you can also say 早啊,早啊. It's very commonly used, but it's slightly informal. What about when we leave? What should we say? 再见. This very common expression is similar in meaning to the English see you again. 再见. This is goodbye. Though simple, it can be used in almost all occasions. Now you can greet people in many different ways in Chinese. Let's review them all again. When meeting people for the first time or in a formal occasion, 你好. When meeting friends or family members, you can say, hey. In the early morning, you can say, 早啊. When leaving, no matter whether it's a formal or informal situation, 再见. It's easy, isn't it? Now it's time for Yanru's tips. As you know, there are more and more Chinese starting to learn English. This has started to affect the language. Just like how you can say hey instead of 你好, you can also say bye bye instead of 再见. So if you forget how to say 你好 and 再见, you can use the easy heys and bye byes and people will understand you with no problem.
Welcome to Chinese Top Words. My name is Ray. Today we are going to cover top 10 ways to prepare your travel. 选择目的地 to choose your destination. 选择目的地 to choose your destination. 我早就选择好了我的目的地. I had my destination chosen a long time ago. I think comparing to scheduling your trip, choosing your destination is much easier. For now, I really want to go to Taiwan. It's a place I have been wanting to go for a long time. And since now I'm in Japan, it's affordable and it's easy. And I know the local language. So yeah, this is a destination for my next trip. 买旅行指南 to buy a guidebook. 买旅行指南 to buy a guidebook. 你在哪里买的旅行指南 Where did you get your travel guide? For my traveling experience, I never buy a guidebook. Especially for now, it's so easy to use Google and TripAdvisor. Maybe guidebook works for you. 存钱 to save money. 存钱 to save money. 我要从今天开始存钱. I need to start saving money from today. For me, saving money is always from tomorrow. It's like my friend's diet plan. I will start diet from tomorrow. For me, I will start saving money from tomorrow. 订机票 to book a flight. 订机票 to book a flight. 在星期二订机票会比较便宜. It will be cheaper to book your flight on a Tuesday. 请假 to request vacation time. 请假 to request vacation time. 我想在12月请假2周. I would like to ask for a 2-week leave in December. 预订住宿 to book accommodations. 预订住宿 to book accommodations. 你的任务是预订住宿. You are assigned to reserve accommodations. 查看当地天气 to check local weather. 查看当地天气 to check local weather. 走之前记得查看当地的天气. Remember to check the local weather before you take off. 购买旅行保险 to buy travel insurance. 购买旅行保险 to buy travel insurance. 旅行社常常会推荐你购买旅行保险. Travel agencies often recommend you buy travel insurance. 打包行李 to pack your luggage. 打包行李 to pack your luggage. 每次打包行李的时候，我都很兴奋.
Every time I pack my luggage, I feel very excited. I only feel excited at the moment of buying the plane ticket. But packing my luggage is not such a fun thing to do for me. Like I always feel too many things to feel in my luggage. 办签证 to get a visa. 办签证 to get a visa. 办签证不是件容易的事。Getting a visa is not so easy. I'm trying to get a visa from America next week. Wish me luck. Thank you for watching today's Chinese Top Words. Let us know how you're going to prepare your travel and where's your next destination. Don't forget to subscribe to ChineseClass101.com. I will see you next time. Bye.
一个女人正在打电话预订一场舞台剧的票。她预订了哪2个位子？
您好，这里是布莱克弗莱尔斯剧院，请问有什么需要？
我想要2张今晚5点30分的《李尔王》的票，还有空位吗？
还有一些，但是没有相邻的座位了。您不介意的话，可以选择分开来坐。
可以，我们不介意。
您对座位有什么要求吗？
有没有过道旁边的座位？
有的，中间部分的左侧有一个靠过道的空位，还有一个空位在它右边隔了3个位子的地方。
靠边的，那我要靠过道的那个。
好的，另一个呢？
有靠中间的空位吗？
中间的只有第1排到第3排有空位。
演员的口水应该没那么让人难以忍受，所以
这边的位子比较小。其实您即使坐在最后一排靠边的地方，也能好好欣赏演出。
是吗？那我还是要你之前说的那个左边的位子吧。他预订了哪2个位子？一个女人正在打电话预订一场舞台剧的票。她预订了哪2个位子？
您好，这里是布莱克弗莱尔斯剧院，请问有什么需要？
我想要2张今晚5点30分的《李尔王》的票，还有空位吗？
还有一些，但是没有相邻的座位了。您不介意的话，可以选择分开来坐。
可以，我们不介意。
您对座位有什么要求吗？
有没有过道旁边的座位？
有的，中间部分的左侧有一个靠过道的空位，还有一个空位在它右边隔了3个位子的地方。
靠边的，那我要靠过道的那个。
好的，另一个呢？
有靠中间的空位吗？
中间的只有第1排到第3排有空位。
演员的口水应该没那么让人难以忍受，所以
这边的位子比较小。其实您即使坐在最后一排靠边的地方，也能好好欣赏演出。
是吗？那我还是要你之前说的那个左边的位子吧。一个男人和一个女人正在办公室讨论明天的报告的准备情况。女人会在对话结束后检查什么？
好，我觉得明天的报告准备的差不多了，还有点收尾工作。明天的会议9点准时开始。你今天能再检查一下会议室吗？
我已经检查过了。
很好，投影仪没问题吧？
我打算明天早上用我的笔记本电脑检查。
不行，今天就得检查好。如果明天早上发现有问题的话，会没有时间处理。一定要在今天检查好投影仪，这是首要任务，记住了吗？
好的。
还有，开会用的资料准备好了吗？
田中在准备。
我想想还有什么？哦，检查过书写板了吗？
检查了。
有时候笔的墨水不够，你检查了吗？
还没，不过等会儿我会检查的。
好，一定要在今天弄好。
女人会在对话结束后检查什么？一个男人和一个女人正在办公室讨论明天的报告的准备情况。女人会在对话结束后检查什么？
好，我觉得明天的报告准备的差不多了，还有点收尾工作。明天的会议9点准时开始。你今天能再检查一下会议室吗？
我已经检查过了。
很好，投影仪没问题吧？
我打算明天早上用我的笔记本电脑检查。
不行，今天就得检查好。如果明天早上发现有问题的话，会没有时间处理。一定要在今天检查好投影仪，这是首要任务，记住了吗？
好的，
还有，开会用的资料准备好了吗？
田中在准备。
我想想还有什么？哦，检查过书写板了吗？
检查了。
有时候笔的墨水不够，你检查了吗？
还没，不过等会儿我会检查的。
好，一定要在今天弄好。
一对夫妇正在看房屋平面设计图。他们打算去看哪间公寓？这间怎么样？这间的客厅看起来漂亮又宽敞。
我喜欢宽敞的客厅，不过我想要带车位的。
那再看看，这间呢？
不错，我们去看看。
等等，储藏间是不是太小了点？
没错，好像没有哪间是面面俱到的。等一下，这间如何？
这间各方面都不错，储藏间也挺大的，就它了吧？
行，
他们打算去看哪间公寓？一对夫妇正在看房屋平面设计图。他们打算去看哪间公寓？这间怎么样？这间的客厅看起来漂亮又宽敞。
我喜欢宽敞的客厅，不过我想要带车位的。
那再看看，这间呢？
不错，我们去看看。
等等，储藏间是不是太小了点？
没错，好像没有哪间是面面俱到的。等一下，这间如何？
这间各方面都不错，储藏间也挺大的，就它了吧？
行，
一个男人正在预约宾馆房间。他打算住哪间房？您好，这里是海滨酒店，请问有什么需要？
你好，我想在9月22号入住一个晚上。
好的，9月22号入住一晚，请问您几位
2位，
您想要吸烟房还是禁烟房？
禁烟的。
那天只有一间禁烟房可以入住，是山景房，您看行吗？
我比较想要海景房。
很抱歉，那天只有一间空的海景房，但是它不禁烟。
这样啊，那9月23号有空的禁烟海景房吗？
有的。
好，那就9月23号吧。
他打算住哪间房？一个男人正在预约宾馆房间。他打算住哪间房？您好，这里是海滨酒店，请问有什么需要？
你好，我想在9月22号入住一个晚上。
好的，9月22号入住一晚，请问您几位
2位，
您想要吸烟房还是禁烟房？
禁烟的。
那天只有一间禁烟房可以入住，是山景房，您看行吗？
我比较想要海景房。
很抱歉，那天只有一间空的海景房，但是它不禁烟。
这样啊，那9月23号有空的禁烟海景房吗？
有的。
好，那就9月23号吧。
一个女人正在跟她的发型师讲话。她想怎样改变发型？
您好，请问您有什么需要？
你好，我是李琦，约了下午3点做头发。
啊，李琦太太，欢迎光临，请到这边来。您今天想怎么做头发？
我想稍微改变一下发色。
好的，您想要什么长度？
差不多到肩膀吧。
好的，刘海呢？
留着吧，
中分还是偏分？
稍微偏分一点，
往哪边分？
中偏左一点吧。
明白了，我们先洗头，这边请。
他想怎样改变发型？一个女人正在跟她的发型师讲话。她想怎样改变发型？
您好，请问您有什么需要？
你好，我是李琦，约了下午3点做头发。
啊，李琦太太，欢迎光临，请到这边来。您今天想怎么做头发？
我想稍微改变一下发色，
好的，您想要什么长度？
差不多到肩膀吧。
好的，刘海呢？
留着吧，
中分还是偏分？
稍微偏分一点，
往哪边分？
中偏左一点吧。
明白了，我们先洗头，这边请。
一男一女2个学生正在看招聘广告。女学生打算应聘哪一份工作？你觉得这份工作怎么样？时薪很高啊。
是啊，报酬很不错。不过你骑车送报纸没问题吗？
当然了，我车骑得可好了。不过我比较担心能不能早起。
那这个呢？钱虽然没那么多，不过1周就2-3天，还可以晚上开始工作。
哦，这个，超市收银员，放学后做倒是不错。
这个咖啡店的工作看着也挺好。
啊，对，我喜欢这地方，而且它在我上学的路上。
不错吧？
该选哪一个呢？
你准备在哪2个中间选？咖啡店跟送报纸？
对，送报纸的薪水真的很高。好，我决定了，我还是早起吧。女学生打算应聘哪一份工作？一男一女2个学生正在看招聘广告。女学生打算应聘哪一份工作？你觉得这份工作怎么样？时薪很高啊。
是啊，报酬很不错。不过你骑车送报纸没问题吗？
当然了，我车骑得可好了。不过我比较担心能不能早起。
那这个呢？钱虽然没那么多，不过1周就2-3天，还可以晚上开始工作。
哦，这个，超市收银员，放学后做倒是不错。
这个咖啡店的工作看着也挺好。
啊，对，我喜欢这地方，而且它在我上学的路上。
不错吧？
该选哪一个呢？
你准备在哪2个中间选？咖啡店跟送报纸？
对，送报纸的薪水真的很高。好，我决定了，我还是早起吧。
Hello, everyone. Today we are going to talk about the 10 phrases you always want to hear. 你今天气色不错。You look great today. 你今天气色不错。You look great today. 你今天气色不错哦。For girls, you can say like, 你今天真漂亮。That means you are so beautiful today. For boys, you can say like, 你看起来真精神今天。That means you look great today. 你真棒。You are awesome. 你真棒。You are awesome. Chinese people like to compliment people, especially during the working or study. When you make a small progress, they will say some compliment like 你真棒 You are awesome. 你是对的 You are right. 你是对的今天真的下雨了 You are right. Today is really raining. 你是对的今天真的下雨了 You are right. It's raining. 干得漂亮 You did a great job. 干得漂亮 You did a great job. You are playing basketball and you got a goal. And your teammate will say, You did a great job. 干得漂亮我想你 I miss you. 我想你 I miss you. For I miss you, maybe you can use the very close friends and family member. But if you want to say I miss you to your teacher or your boss, you can speak like 我很想念您. And also, this sentence is like just used for the letter. And if you want to email your teacher, you can speak 敬爱的老师，我很想念您。我给你带了些礼物。I brought you some gifts. 我给你带了些礼物。I brought you some presents. In China, if your friends invited you to their home for the dinner, if you want to keep the good manner, it's better you bring some gift. The present doesn't have to be very expensive, just like fruit and tea. It's okay. 月底发奖金。There will be a bonus at the end of the month. I think everyone loves the salary. Is that right? And also in China, in the end of the year, during the Spring Festival, every boss, the good boss, will offer the employee a big bonus. We call it 红包。你身材真好。You are in good shape. 你身材真好。You are in good shape. To be honest, guys, this sentence is really, really important. So please remember this. 你身材真好. Especially when you meet a girl, you can speak the first, 你真漂亮. The second, 你身材真好. That means you are beautiful and you're in good shape. The girl will be really, really happy. 你做得对. You did the right thing. 你做得对. You did the right thing. I think everyone wants to do the right thing, right? And someone will say, you are right, you did the right thing. It's great. 我有一个惊喜要给你. I have a surprise for you. 我有一个惊喜要给你. I have a surprise for you. Actually, sometimes when someone tells you, I have a surprise for you, you will imagine here, what kind of surprise? And sometimes it's really a surprise, a gift. But sometimes just your friends want to trick you. 你朋友想捉弄你. And your friends will offer you a little creature. 你的朋友会给你一个小虫子. My friends always trick me like this. 我的朋友经常捉弄我. Okay, guys, today we did the 10 phrases you always want to hear. Which one would you like to hear? I highly recommend you remember the first, you are in good shape. 你身材真好. The second, you did the great job. 干得漂亮. Okay, thank you. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Bye bye. See you later.
一个女人正在一边试裙子，一边跟一个店员说话。她打算买哪条裙子？
这条裙子上身效果很好，大小也很合适。
倒是挺合身的，不过我平时都穿得挺素，不太习惯这种花色。
不会啊，我觉得非常适合你。
是吗？我还是觉得穿这样出门需要点勇气。
那这条呢？这条要保守得多，没那么花哨。
没错，我来试试它。
好的，你觉得如何？
这条比上一条更适合我。这一款有长袖的吗？
有的。
那我要了，谢谢。他打算买哪条裙子？一个女人正在一边试裙子，一边跟一个店员说话。她打算买哪条裙子？
这条裙子上身效果很好，大小也很合适。
倒是挺合身的，不过我平时都穿得挺素，不太习惯这种花色。
不会啊，我觉得非常适合你。
是吗？我还是觉得穿这样出门需要点勇气。
那这条呢？这条要保守得多，没那么花哨。
没错，我来试试它。
好的，你觉得如何？
这条比上一条更适合我。这一款有长袖的吗？
有的。
那我要了，谢谢。
一位公司总裁正在和他的秘书通话。秘书会给营销部送哪一个文件？
你能帮我个忙吗？我桌上有一个文件，需要你帮我送到营销部去。
没问题，是哪个文件？
应该是一个蓝色的信封。
蓝色的信封。桌上有2个蓝色的信封。
啊，对的，信封的右上角有一个红色的印章，那个有绿色印章的是我们要在新员工介绍会上发下去的。
有红色印章的那个。好，我找到了。
太好了，请在下午1点前送到营销部，请务必直接交到经理手上。你认识他的，对吧？
是的，我见过，也和他聊过几次。
好。哦，对了，你能再把另外一个信封送到人力资源部吗？
好的。秘书会给营销部送哪一个文件？一位公司总裁正在和他的秘书通话。秘书会给营销部送哪一个文件？
你能帮我个忙吗？我桌上有一个文件，需要你帮我送到营销部去。
没问题，是哪个文件？
应该是一个蓝色的信封。
蓝色的信封。桌上有2个蓝色的信封。
啊，对的，信封的右上角有一个红色的印章，那个有绿色印章的是我们要在新员工介绍会上发下去的。
有红色印章的那个。好，我找到了。
太好了，请在下午1点前送到营销部，请务必直接交到经理手上。你认识他的，对吧？
是的，我见过，也和他聊过几次。
好。哦，对了，你能再把另外一个信封送到人力资源部吗？
好的。一名女子正在给餐馆打电话。她是在哪张桌子上吃的午饭？
您好，有什么需要？
我刚在你们餐馆吃过午饭，我应该是把围巾落你们那里了。
您是把围巾落在桌上了吗？您记得你坐哪儿吗？我去找找。
是在餐馆的后面。
您是在吸烟区还是禁烟区用的餐？
禁烟区。
您是坐在吧台还是餐桌区？
我坐的是一张4人桌。
好的，我去看看，请稍等。
太谢谢了。她是在哪张桌子上吃的午饭？一名女子正在给餐馆打电话。她是在哪张桌子上吃的午饭？
您好，有什么需要？
我刚在你们餐馆吃过午饭，我应该是把围巾落你们那里了。
您是把围巾落在桌上了吗？您记得你坐哪儿吗？我去找找。
是在餐馆的后面。
您是在吸烟区还是禁烟区用的餐？
禁烟区。
您是坐在吧台还是餐桌区？
我坐的是一张4人桌。
好的，我去看看，请稍等。
太谢谢了。一名男子正在找公寓。他会选哪个公寓呢？
你好，我想在这块区域找一套公寓，你能给我看看平面图吗？
当然可以，是找单人的吗？
不，我和我的妻子一起住，我想要有一间客厅、卧室和一间书房。
好，这个怎么样？这个有2间房和1间卧室，但是它靠近一条大马路， 可能会有些吵。
我了解了，我平常在家工作，所以需要一个安静的地方。而且如果卧室是方形的，就最好了。
嗯，这个怎么样？离车站有些远，不过是在一个很安静的住宅区里，一共有2间房和一个客厅，只不过其中一间房有点狭窄。
嗯，我们东西不多，所以这个应该够大了。
我们还可以给你看另外一间有2个非常宽敞房间的公寓，但是在离车站更远的地方。
不需要了，谢谢。我想去看看你给我看的第二家。
他会选哪个公寓呢？一名男子正在找公寓。他会选哪个公寓呢？
你好，我想在这块区域找一套公寓，你能给我看看平面图吗？
当然可以，是找单人的吗？
不，我和我的妻子一起住，我想要有一间客厅、卧室和一间书房。
好，这个怎么样？这个有2间房和一间卧室，但是它靠近一条大马路，可能会有些吵。
我了解了，我平常在家工作，所以需要一个安静的地方。而且如果卧室是方形的，就最好了。
嗯，这个怎么样？离车站有些远，不过是在一个很安静的住宅区里，一共有2间房和一个客厅，只不过其中一间房有点狭窄。
嗯，我们东西不多，所以这个应该够大了。
我们还可以给你看另外一间有2个非常宽敞房间的公寓，但是在离车站更远的地方。
不需要了，谢谢。我想去看看你给我看的第二家。
一名女子正在订购生日蛋糕。她要订哪个蛋糕呢？你好，我想给我的女儿订一个蛋糕。
好啊，您想要什么样的蛋糕呢？
我女儿喜欢吃巧克力，所以就巧克力蛋糕吧。上面能放些草莓吗？
当然可以，有圆的和方的，您喜欢哪种？
圆的吧，谢谢。
好，您女儿多大了？
马上12岁了。
行，我们就准备好12根蜡烛。您想写些什么吗？
好，请写生日快乐。
好的，您觉得用粉色的写可以吗？如果可以，我们就写在白色的牌子上，不然我们就用白色的写在粉色的牌子上。
请用粉色的写放在白色的牌子上。他要订哪个蛋糕呢？一名女子正在订购生日蛋糕。她要订哪个蛋糕呢？你好，我想给我的女儿订一个蛋糕。
好啊，您想要什么样的蛋糕呢？
我女儿喜欢吃巧克力，所以就巧克力蛋糕吧。上面能放些草莓吗？
当然可以，有圆的和方的，您喜欢哪种？
圆的吧，谢谢。
好，您女儿多大了？
马上12岁了。
行，我们就准备好12根蜡烛。您想写些什么吗？
好，请写生日快乐。
好的，您觉得用粉色的写可以吗？如果可以，我们就写在白色的牌子上，不然我们就用白色的写在粉色的牌子上。
请用粉色的写放在白色的牌子上。
电视里正在播放天气预报。哪一个天气预报是关于下星期的？ 下面是下星期的天气预报。下星期的前半周，大多数是晴天，偶尔多云。下星期的后半周，云层很有可能扩散，有些地区会有降雨。下周的中期，天气恶化，将会有一些雷雨。最高温度和往年的平均气温一样，前半周会上升到20度，不过到了后半周，气温会低于往年，将会从18度降到15度。最低温度将会持续在7至8度，比平常稍微低一些。明天会是一个晴朗的周日，给假日带来好天气。哪一个天气预报是关于下星期的？电视里正在播放天气预报。哪一个天气预报是关于下星期的？下面是下星期的天气预报。下星期的前半周，大多数是晴天，偶尔多云。下星期的后半周，云层很有可能扩散，有些地区会有降雨。下周的中期，天气恶化，将会有一些雷雨。最高温度和往年的平均气温一样，前半周会上升到20度，不过到了后半周，气温会低于往年，将会从18度降到15度。最低温度将会持续在7至8度，比平常稍微低一些。明天会是一个晴朗的周日，给假日带来好天气。
Remember, here's what you can do to learn all of these words by heart. Drill these words with our spaced repetition flashcards, which will help cement these words into your long-term memory. Save them to the word bank, your personal vocabulary collection, where you can print out your own study sheets, or review the words with our looped vocabulary slideshow, and play it until you know all of the words. So click the link in the description right now and sign up for your free lifetime account to get these lessons and study tools.